Welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about California's system of criminal justice and whether it needs to be changed. My guest this segment is Elizabeth Siggins, who is the director of the Local Safety Solutions Project for an organization called Californians for Safety and Justice. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Now, your background is in corrections, correct?
It is. I've spent most of my career working in criminal justice, both adult and juvenile systems, and spent almost 10 years working with Californians Department of Corrections, including as the head of rehabilitative programs.
And as I understand it, you are going into various communities, working with local officials to try to get them to think about criminal justice in a different way.
That's right. What Californians for Safety and Justice focuses on is trying to help local governments, law enforcement agencies, business leaders, and others implement smart justice solutions. So those are solutions that will reduce crime, but will also help us spend less money on our criminal justice system.
For some people, maybe a lot of people, that's a disconnect, that you need to spend more money, whether it's to build more prisons or to put more people in those prisons if you want to reduce crime. But you're saying that's not the case.
Well, that's right. Incarcerating an individual is incredibly expensive. It's also the least effective thing that we could do for someone with mental health issues or drug addiction problems, which is the case with a lot of people who are currently in prisons and jails. So by promoting other alternatives to incarceration and really increasing the capacity for mental health and substance abuse programs at the local level, we can help turn that public investment around.
The major other alternative would be change our sentencing laws, do you think?
Changing the sentencing laws is one important thing that we need to look at in California. Yes, absolutely. Our prisons and jails are overcrowded right now, including with people who are there serving time for lower level offenses like petty theft and even drug possession. So yes, we need to absolutely look at our sentences. We need to not have just a one-size-fits-all approach, but something that looks at what is the risk that someone is going to continue to have a negative impact on public safety.
I would imagine that a lot of people on the surface would think, well, the crime victims are going to fight you on this because they want to lock more people up. But I know you are working with crime victims and survivors to change the system, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Californians for Safety and Justice has established a network of over 6,000 crime victims and survivors of crime. It's called Crime Survivors for Safety and Justice. And we have done extensive surveys and interviews with them to understand what approaches is it that they are looking for in order to respond to the criminal problems. And surprisingly, what they tell us is not what most people have said crime victims want. So most people think crime victims want to just lock someone up forever. Right. That's not the case. What we're hearing from crime victims is what they want is rehabilitative programs that are going to reduce further victimization.
So you go into the communities, work with elected leaders to try to, with your crime victims, and to try to get them to change their thinking.
Californians for Safety and Justice works with a wide variety of local stakeholders. So we work with local law enforcement, we work with government officials, we work with crime victims, we work with business leaders, we work with community advocates. So part of our goal is to really pull the whole community together around smarter solutions for crime.
Are you getting any traction?
We're getting a lot of traction. Not only did I just mention the Crime Victims Network that we have, which is now over 6,000 people strong, but more and more we're seeing education leaders come on board, business leaders come on board because they see that this makes sense.
Well, it's a fascinating subject, and so you're trying to change some local laws, right, as well as state?
Yes, what we're doing more is working with the local leaders to try to develop those solutions that make sense for them locally. And then once we find programs that are working, we try to share them with other communities.
All right. Well, Elizabeth Siggins, thank you very much for coming by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Fascinating subject. And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder, you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, also on My Government On Demand. Have a great day.